Hello Pisces, welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm super excited to have you here. We are going to dive right into your reading. Spirit, please show us, what does Pisces need to know? What does Pisces need to know right now? For Pisces, please, Spirit. For Pisces, what message is in Pisces' highest and best good to know right now? For Pisces. Jeez, Pisces. Feels like your prayers are being answered. I had this vision. I think it was last night. It might have been this morning. I had seen a piece of art that was Jell-O that had been turned out of a mold onto a piece of plate, and someone had done a lithograph print of it. And it really had the magical feeling of jiggly Jell-O, right? And I just saw it in the past couple of days. And this vision that I had was like that Jell-O on the plate, but it was absorbing things into it. And one of the things was actually money. So I don't know if you're about to get paid. I don't know if you're becoming a money magnet or an opportunity magnet, or that the things that you're doing now will result in money. But it's funny because the news and everything is just doom and gloom when it comes to money. But this energy was just absorbing money. And so sometimes, like when I have a really specific vision like that, it can sometimes help to adopt it yourself, or to like imagine it, or to sit with it and sort of, I don't know, vibe with it, however it resonates with you. But it just is so funny that I turn over these cards and you get one card today and it's abundance. And the Jell-O was this pink color. It was called raspberry Jell-O or something like that. And for a lithographic print, it sure gave off the vibe of Jell-O. I thought, oh my gosh, because lithograph is so rigid and Jell-O is so jiggly. It just felt like a strange medium to capture such a wobbly, funky thing. Anyway, wow. And you see how this sun is like almost being absorbed into this angel. That's how it was. Anyway, guys, I don't know. You're getting the angel of prayer. Ask the universe and the angels for help and guidance. And then you're getting angel of abundance. A steady flow of abundance is about to manifest. And I just don't feel like I need to tear that apart. I feel like ask and you shall receive. This is the time, Pisces. For Pisces, please, Spirit. For Pisces. For Pisces, please, Spirit. What does Pisces need to know? What is in Pisces' highest and best good right now? For Pisces. For Pisces. Ouch. Ooh, still nursing the ribs. It's kind of funny because the only cards I can get are the ones that I can easily reach, like the eye level cards. So it's kind of bringing out different cards than I would normally, like when I can just bend over. I cannot bend over right now. When I can just bend over and pick any, I have floor to ceiling, a whole wall of tarot cards from the floor to the ceiling of shelves of tarot. Some people have books. I have bookshelves too, but I have tarot cards. And so oftentimes, like, I'll sort of get in a rut, and then I'll sort of decide to rearrange them, and then I'll, add some of the other cards in. But, there just are typically cards that we gravitate to or that we like visualize in meditation more often than others. And so this is really interesting, like intuitively choosing just from what I can easily reach. I feel like I'm using cards that I don't normally use. You guys, a lot of you asked about the cards yesterday. I did my best to answer. Sometimes I don't have an answer or I don't know. But the tarot cards I used, I don't know the photographic deck. The other one was the Chromatic Fates. Okay, I can't remember. Anyway, I did try to respond in the comments to the ones that I knew. Okay. Okay, Pisces. On the bottom of the deck, you are getting, when the door closes, let it. Do not return knocking on the same door out of desperation. This energy is unattractive. Let them come to you if they wish to talk. I'm really getting, you may have left someone in the past. You may have let a door close, and you may not have, sorry guys, I've been having issues today. I think they're rib related, but there's this energy of having really let a door close. Like, I'm literally seeing the door close, and it's like kind of in someone's face, and it's almost as if they were still talking, or yeah, like you may not have let someone totally explain themselves, or it's, I don't want to say, okay, someone may have done something to let you down. They may have ghosted you. They may have, done whatever. But it feels as though, they may have even been expecting to have more FaceTime with you, or expecting to sort of have some other opportunity with you, or could even be that they were expecting you to maybe like chase them. And I feel like you didn't. I feel like you were like, okay, you're the one with the issue. You're the one that can't handle this situation. You're the one that's ghosting. You're the one that's, not able to commit. You're the one that's whatever. I'm going to let you sit with that, and I'm going to go on my merry way. And I feel like you did not chase this person. You did not come back in desperation. You did not do, I feel like, what they expected you to do. And I feel like you closed the door. A friend of mine says all the time, you have to close the door, because you can't let them walk back in the same door they walked out of. And you sure as hell can't let them stand in the doorway and block your flow. Because if you let them come back in the same door they walked out of, you're going to just have a repeat of the exact same cycle. And if you let them stand in the doorway and block your flow, then you're just giving someone that doesn't deserve access to you. It's called a time waster. And so this is like, I'm going to close the door. And you know what? If you decide that you want access to me again, then you come and you do the work to fucking open the door. Excuse me, man, my language, you guys. Okay. More than one pathway is available to you in the near future. Spirit asks you to follow your heart and choose the person that you feel your higher self most aligns with for expansion and future joy. Pisces, it sounds to me you're going to have a choice, possibly between a new person and a past person. This person is a soulmate. They're here to bring smooth, deep, and meaningful love and friendship to your life. You have many things in common and feel very comfortable in their presence due to the soul compatibility. Okay, here you have, someone has chosen a different path and that is their free will. Look to two new opportunities around you. Whatever is meant to be yours will never pass you by. And this connection is a slow burning energy. It will gradually build up in time, but other priorities are taking precedence at this time. Trust the process and work on your own life first. Okay, I actually feel this is the past person that you close the door on. For some of you, I am getting an energy of a lesser energy, and I'm not trying to judge anyone's energy, but I'm looking at it from the perspective of your life. For some of you, you may have had like I don't know what I'm getting, this dilettante. I don't even know if that's a word or what it means, if it is a word, but it's like something that may have lasted a few months, or never really gotten off the ground, something that ended. Someone may have chosen to part ways, or someone may not have just really been able to show up. So you may have let them go on their own way. That's showing up for some of you. In the recent past, it wasn't a significant story where it's like you just can't move over it. And that's just for some of you. It's not for all of you. What we're talking about here is a major person from your life who, and even though you close the door, it's like you can still feel their presence on the other side of the door, if that makes sense. I can still feel it. But I feel like Spirit is putting someone else, or even possibly multiple other people, in your path, so that like this is a moment for you to choose your own path. Like, what do you want? And it feels like no matter which way you choose, it doesn't really matter. It's just your preference. But you're all kind of going into the same direction. Like you're all, it all has the possibility to be a long-term partner, it feels like. You may have let this person go and said, you know what, anyone that's really meant to be will be regardless. They're not going to pass me by. And yeah, they may be coming back around. And you may have something new that's kind of cooking, that's kind of bubbling, that's kind of brewing, that may be taking some time. I just started reading this book, Good Material by Dolly Alderton. I'm reading like a few books at a time with my rib. It's like my attention span. I've been reading so much that my attention span isn't the greatest. And so anyway, but while I was doing this, while I was doing these cards, while I was pulling these cards, this line from that book came to me. When you're single, you have like a light that goes off that tells the world that you're single, and people reach out. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I find a lot of times that people who have someone have a tendency to like attract more people. But anyway, I don't know. It was coming to me that way, where there's like, you know, it's like there are people that are catching the drift that you're single, that you're available. And it's kind of like my luck, you know, they can't believe their luck that they happen to be near you when this is happening, or when this is possible. See, you're getting renewal. Oh my God, I woke up this morning. One of my favorite restaurants has a happy hour on Mondays where oysters are on sale. And so I had never tried an oyster. When my daughter was home, we went and we had raw oysters for the first time, and they were like incredible. Like there was nothing in me that ever wanted to try an oyster, ever. But it was the happy hour special, and my daughter was home, and I was like, let's do something crazy. Let's try oysters. And she was like, okay, Mom. Anyway, I was literally thinking about that this morning, and then here you have this oyster card with this pearl in it. Okay. Remember yesterday, we got 444 right at the top in the reading. Your hard work and determination is creating blessed foundations for the future. Pisces, angel of abundance. You also had the 1111 card yesterday, and now you have this 111. I've been seeing 1111 and 1112 a lot. And yesterday when I went to start the reading, I think it was like 1122 or something like that. Really interesting energy here. Okay, you are a magical creator. Your thoughts are beginning to manifest. Pisces, you know, at some point, you may have really hoped that your past person was going to come back to you. Or that, you know, you may have really been manifesting that or putting that out into the universe. And, you know, a lot of times our manifestations, they're on their own timeline. You can manifest it all you want, but until it's ready, until it's meant to be, it's not going to be. You know, if you're manifesting a past person coming back to you in a completely different energy, one that has an opportunity to actually work out, they're not going to come back 5 minutes after they walk away, right? Because that's not enough time for a transformation. And so even though we may be manifesting, wondering why the hell it's not working, where is the universe? Does the universe still care about us, or did it ever care about us? Why would they send us someone so ill-equipped to be in a relationship? And then when we want them back, why wouldn't they just give them back? You know what I mean? It's one of those things where, you know, there are a lot of facets that that kind of all have to come working together in order for something to come together, in order for it to be the right time. You know, it's gotta, there's a lot of things that have to happen, right? You know, it doesn't just happen on our timeline and our time, in the way we imagine it, in the way that we hope, in the way that we're asking for, right? This web is really giving me that energy of how all things have to play together. Your soul purpose, their soul purpose, the divine timing, the people around you, the things around you, the circumstances of the greater community, you know, the global community, the universal community, you know, the themes, what's happening, you know, I'm even getting like planetary alignments here. You know, all of these things that have to sort of, that are interwoven and that play with each other and that affect each other. You know, we can manifest something, but until the time is right, and until the soul purpose is aligned, and until, you know, all of these things kind of come together, and until the universe kind of even has time to put towers out there and to put all these things out there and to make this happen and to bring this around and to put this out there, you know, it takes time, you know, and time, it is a human construct. It isn't, the universe doesn't speak that language, and the universe doesn't answer to us in our human need or want or desire, you know, in that way, you know, in a time frame. And so there's kind of this energy where, you know, people talk about timelines and stuff. And I really just actually read this thing this morning, which was fascinating, which was on Instagram, which I thought about posting as my story on my Instagram page, but didn't. And it was talking about timelines and how if you kind of allow yourself to settle and to be like kind of in a lower vibrational situation, you know, you can shift downward in your timeline. And if you have an opportunity to learn a karmic lesson and choose not to learn it and choose to, you know, kind of stay in that cycle, you can downgrade your timeline. But things that help you upgrade your timeline are healing, you know, doing good works, clearing karma, you know, those kinds of things help you like move your timeline up. So, and all of that is relative. And when you're dealing with another person, it's not just what are you spending your time doing, but it's also like, what are they spending their time doing? Are they healing? Are they doing the work? Are they, you know what I mean? So there's just this energy of so much divinity. And it's really reminding me of kind of the perfection in nature. I have this bush outside my office and it starts with a D. I can't remember what it's called, but it has 2, 4, 6, 7 leaves that are in a circle on like there's 7 leaflets that make up a leaf, right? On this bush. And it's yellow and green. It's a tropically occurring. I've actually seen people have it as a house plant. But we have it as bushes all over the place down here. And I have a hibiscus. And the hibiscus, you know, is sort of, it's just like one leaf and then this gorgeous flower with this gorgeous stamen. And yet they both grow completely sort of wild and chaotic. No real rhyme or reason for the way their branches choose to go and what really chooses to happen. But it always reminds me when I start really looking at them, like the beautiful perfection that is always occurring universally, right? Like all of these you know, every single leaf is composed of 7 leaflets on this bush. And with the hibiscus, the gorgeous, you know, blossoms that come out of there with its perfect stamen and its, you know, ability to recreate itself, that is part of its function is part of its beauty, you know? And how like even in the chaos of this unpredictable, you know, organically growing thing, there exists such perfection. And there are these moments in life where we're really touching that, where we're really a part of that, where you go, oh my gosh, everything aligned for this moment right here, or there is no doubt that this moment is meant to be what it is. And there's this quick review of all the things that had to happen to get you here, good and bad, things that you asked for and things that you didn't want to have happen or that happened, you know, that brought you to this point. And that all of those things actually prepared you for this, or all of those things were necessary in order for this moment to occur. And that web cosmic plan energy is just really giving me that. And then you have this red passion, anger, courage. And, you know, we come together, right, in, you know, oftentimes in this energy of I desire you, I'm attracted to you, I'm passionate about this, I want this. You know, we see that Ace of Wands, that Page of Wands, that, you know, I want this, I'm passionate about it, I desire it, and we go for it. And then something happens that triggers something within us or within our person that causes the whole thing to sort of fall apart, that opportunity at it to fall apart. Like we took a stab at it, and we got as far as we could, equipped the way that we were equipped in that moment at that time. And then there is this like falling apart or sort of like separation energy where we can even be angry. We can feel gypped or cheated. Like, why did I have to go through all of that to fall in love with that person, to have that experience with that person, to actually have my own eyes opened to what is possible with that person, only to have the opportunity squandered, only to have it all sort of fall away. And there is this feeling of being cheated, this feeling of, you know, anger that happens of like, I didn't deserve that. I was still hanging in there. I was still fine. Chances are you might have made it further on down the line, but something would have occurred anyway, that it would have just been different. It would have just been a different thing. Because, you know, usually we're mirroring each other, and usually we're a vibrational frequential match. So just because it was them doesn't mean that it wouldn't have been you, or maybe them freaking out or losing it or letting fear get in the way was part of the plan all along, part of the cosmic plan all along. Maybe you needed to go through whatever you went through as a result of that. But it takes courage, right, to try it again with this person or anyone else. And takes courage to grab that Ace of Wands the next time. You've got this rainbow renewal energy, and you know rainbows, of course, remind me of the Ten of Cups, with the rainbow over the house and the couple and the dogs running around in the yard. And to me, this is just giving me the renewal of a dream of emotional contentment with a person. Then you have this pearl, hidden knowledge. The only way for us to find the pearl is for the oyster to open. The only way for us to gain access to the treasure is to open. And so you may have been dealing with someone that was incredibly defensive, or that was incredibly closed off. You yourself may have been closed off. You may have been somewhat open or slightly open. You may have, in the time since, having met this person, learned how to open more you with you. You may even have more information about, I want to say, like gaining access to the depths of yourself. We have this nourish energy, and I talk about Tara Brach on here. I love her. If you don't know who she is, feel free to put her name, Tarabrach, in your YouTube search bar and listen to anything. She's brilliant. She's amazing. But she's come up with this technique called RAIN. And it's kind of radical acceptance and radical compassion. Those are her books. But with RAIN, when we're triggered, we have this opportunity to sort of hang out for a second and investigate it, and then nurture what hurts, where the hurt is coming from, the source of the pain. And with this pearl, hidden knowledge, and this milk nourish card next to it, it's giving me this energy of this relationship really triggering both people to learn how to really open up and to nurture the places within them that got triggered through this experience, that to heal the pain, right? And as we heal pain, we are more open to the universe. We are more open. We are willing to show people more of ourselves, our true self. Because we're not afraid of it anymore, and we're not afraid of being judged by it anymore. We own it. It's who we are. It's us, and we realize that that's the best part of us, and that we don't have to be afraid of it. We don't have to protect it. We don't have to keep it off limits. We have gained strength to survive. With everything that we heal, we know that we can heal. We understand the resilience of the human spirit, and we understand, how to do it, how to face the hurt and the suffering that we have endured, and that sometimes we continue to endure. We know how to nourish it. We know how to love it. We know how to nurture it and give it what it needs, so that it hurts less and it doesn't trigger us and doesn't cause us to be reactionary. When I saw this smoke visions card, I immediately went and lit an incense, which is kind of a lot for me right now. But I just felt like I had to. And I've just been watching the smoke as I've been talking to you. Sometimes these things really help to channel. And I feel that someone is allowing themselves to fantasize, to dream, to hope, to believe something that they weren't able to before. I do feel like it's probably the masculine, where I think before they kind of let themselves believe that everything was sort of a momentary thing. It was a desire, an attraction. It was, you know, an escape in a way, right, from their own suffering. And I think that they probably never had any intention really to fall in love, but they did, or there was a bond that was built here between the two of you, or the bond already existed, the connection already existed. But I think that they, while you may have been envisioning being with this person forever, or what it would look like, or what your kids would look like, or what life would look like, or how it would feel, or what it would be like, I think this person didn't really let themselves do that. I think that was something that they were blocked from. I think that in this time away, they're recognizing and realizing with that rainbow energy that the only time they ever really felt emotionally content or in any way full or fulfilled was when they were with you. And I think that's causing, and that even the process of having known you, having met you, having been in a relationship with you, has caused them to sort of find treasure within themselves that they didn't know existed. It may even have been when they were with you in the first place, they couldn't have even understood why you would have been attracted to them, or why you would have even wanted to be with them in the first place, because they didn't see that in themselves. They didn't have access to that in themselves. And you know what? Truth be told, that is a true reflection of you with you, because you have seen it within yourself, which is why you can see it in another, right? So there's a foundation that's already been built in this connection. And I do feel like this person is able to see something, and is able to sort of envision something, a future with you, being emotionally content with you for the long term, something that they were not able to do when they were with you before. Okay, and it seems like a big deal. All right, so we're using the Ally Man Tarot today, which I love. It is cards from a bunch of decks. It's not 78 cards. Ouch. Oh, God. Ugh. It's a whole bunch of cards. Wow. The star. And it's just really interesting what comes out. I really love using this deck. This feels like a bohemian kind of reading. We're gonna see where it goes, you know. All right, so let's see. For Pisces, please, Spirit, what does Pisces need to know? Wow, you have the Magician and the Horizon. See? Somebody is seeing a future. I'm telling you. Look at this. Look how related these images are. They are able to see something. Oh my God, this is a huge change for this person. I'm telling you, something has changed. Oh my God, everything is colliding right here. Everything that I just said for this entire reading is colliding in this Wheel of Fortune card for me right now. It's just crashing in together. This energy of everything that has to happen, that has to align for something to come together, for something to get one chance, let alone two chances, maybe three chances. There is something here, but there is something that has changed. This feels like an exorcism to me. I don't know, take it as it resonates to you. I don't really subscribe to that stuff, but that's what it feels like to me. Like someone is purging, I almost said entities, but like that's really too far down a line that I don't truthfully believe in myself, but you take it as it resonates to you. There's a reason why I'm saying it. But it's like someone who's able to let go of a lot of ghosts. I'm even getting like ghosts of former selves, former past lives. You know what I'm saying to you? Ow, oh my God, and my rib is killing me suddenly. The horizon here is like they are releasing this. It's almost like they're alchemizing themselves. They're taking themselves from a former form into a different form now. And with the horizon in this new form, what was once blocked off to them and very black and white and something that they needed to escape from is now bright and lush. It's like they can finally see something. This is all happening right now for a reason. This is all coming together for a reason. Okay, we're diving in with Osho. This is the Osho Zen Tarot. And the Magician for Pisces, please, Spirit. The Magician for Pisces. Wow. Oh my freaking God, I have the damn chills. Woo! Okay, on the bottom of the deck, turning in. Turning in. Remember yesterday, I kept telling you there was a cold and a rigid energy with that hand with the rose that was a statue? For God freaking sake. I literally, you guys, I'm like done. I just feel like I can't touch the cards. Like, oh my God, this is so freaking powerful. Whew. And okay. And I'm hurt. So this is a lot of excitement for someone that is as hurt as I am right now. Oh, and it's making me short of breath. Okay, I gotta just, here, let me just get my black tourmaline. Okay. You know, I'm almost all air in my chart, you guys, and it can be highly problematic. It can be awesome, but it can be highly problematic. I wouldn't trade it. I love it. I'm grateful. I wouldn't change a single thing about me, with me, but like, whoo, I gotta sometimes remember who I am and sail my ship to the best of my ability. Okay, you have the Magician with this isolation and this harmony energy. And yesterday, remember, there was that hand with the rose, and I can't remember, but it felt like this person really wanted to be able to give you something or receive something from you, but they were unable because they were frozen. They were like in a statue form. And then you have this isolation here. And it's like, it is like this, you see how he's got tears falling down? He doesn't want to be ice. He doesn't want to be rigid and not accessible. He wants to be in harmony. He wants to be warm. He wants to be loved. Just like everybody else, you know, we all have wired into us this crave for connection. Even if it's not a romantic partner, we have a craving to be seen, to be heard, to be understood, to communicate, to exchange ideas and feelings, and, you know, to feel a sense of connection. And remember how I said it's like this person is releasing something? Tears are purging. Tears are one of our greatest release systems in the human body, as far as I'm concerned. And so this is like, woo. And then this harmony energy. Look at that. He's allowing himself to imagine and believe. And, you know, dolphins are these super social animals. They're very loving, very playful, very fun. You can see the expression on this face, and it is like a child's face. It is almost like going back in time and nurturing and giving to this person this sense of need. And look at where it's coming from, the heart chakra. I mean, literally. And so it's like this person is now, they are releasing the energy that caused them to get here. And they are embracing, they're picking up this dream that they once had, or this desire, this need, this aching, longing need that they once had that was always lying underneath the surface of this. their inner child, and they're nurturing it, and they're believing in it, and they're allowing themselves to sort of see it and feel it and go with it. And there is a certain energy of flow coming from the heart chakra now within this person that obviously was not here. Then you have this change, which is a very much the Wheel of Fortune energy. And it's the horizon. And it's like this person, as we say, as within, so without. The trans must happen first within the person. They must change form in order for what they see and what they experience outside themselves to also transform or to reflect that. It has to first happen within. And that is what is happening here. This person is now able to really hold a vision, a manifestation, a different idea for the future for themselves here. Look at this. See the rainbow? See the rainbow? Remember, this card says renewal. Look at that even. It looks like the Horizon card. Look at this. These are all different decks. And within this deck, there are all different cards, you guys. You know, look at that. You can't look at that and not see it. And when you look at this card close up, see this raspberry color? Look at it there. And remember, in that angel, I pointed out the raspberry color and I was telling you about the raspberry jello. There's something about your energy right now that is open and attracting and being seen. And it's kind of like what the world needs right now. You know, what this person needs right now. Possibly there are other opportunities, other forms of abundance that are circling around you or coming towards you or finding you at this time. It's like you have maybe always sort of tried to be the same person. Yeah, maybe you've healed, maybe you've nurtured yourself, maybe you've grown, maybe you've done all this, but inside you still feel like the same person. But at this moment in time, the cosmic plan, what you are is what is needed, what is craved, what is attractive. Okay? I don't know. But this person is feeling brave to choose the adventure. Yeah, look at that. At this time, they were not ready for it. They had to postpone it. 4, the number freaking 4. All right, I'm just gonna be over here in my own world with my tarot cards. This energy is too crazy. Okay, that is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. You guys, look at the card underneath this. This deck is too much for me. It's called the Alley Man Tarot. I know people are going to ask me. They always ask me. You have the Thing Among Reflections here. And then you have the 7 of Pentacles here. And then you have this white dog energy here. Which, did you guys see that they just... you know the guy that wrote Game of Thrones and the wolf? I didn't watch Game of Thrones. I don't know. I didn't read Game of Thrones. I don't know anything about Game of Thrones, but there's something called a dire wolf or something in there. Ragnisi or Khaleesi or Khaleesi. Anyway, I literally saw this morning that they successfully took the DNA of that and mixed it with a Nordic gray wolf or something, and they had 2 pups of these white dire wolves that are extinct because this person is trying to repopulate or something. So Game of Thrones, that name, that whole wolves, white wolves, whatever could be significant here. Okay. That's just a side note. The dog is loyal, and there's an energy of where I get even if there was this period of separation and ouch, with this card right here, it's telling me that this could have been for a long time. Like even more than a year. Could have been multiple years. Someone has remained relatively loyal. In other words, I don't want to say that they like haven't dated anyone else or they haven't been with anybody else, but it's like their attention, their focus has always been on you. Regardless of whatever their tangible thing was. You see how they're totally alone here. There's nothing else there. Just this red and this green. There's no other thing. In their world, it's like their focus has always been on this. And it may have been the same for you. The world is a reflecting point for us. The world is constantly putting things in our path that are potentially triggering or are, there are ways for us to sort of see how we're doing or where we're at or where we have left to heal or where we can grow or what is triggering us, which basically is, where we have left to heal and where we can grow. But there's this period here where there are all these things happening in our lives, potentially separately from each other. This person is by themselves, this person is by themselves, and this person is by themselves. And it feels like a period of growth, right? With the Seven of Pentacles there, it's an energy of, like there are seeds that are planted, right? And they don't bear fruit. They don't ripen the same day, right? And so it takes kind of as long as it takes, but the path is always toward this kind of like ripening. And so there's this energy with these two cards in combination where it's like everything that was happening in both of your lives was sort of preparing you. It was fertilizing you, growing you, nurturing you, being the sun, being the water, being the dirt that was necessary for you to become, to get to this place, part of the cosmic plan. And it's funny because you see how straight-laced this dog is, how they don't mess around. And like, if you know a dog, like dogs are pretty simple. You know what I mean? They care about food. They care about walks. They care about play. They're pretty simple beings, which is something that is so glorious about them. But it's like for this person, it feels like they're sort of more of a person of routine, where for some of you, it's like you may be very intellectual, you may be very curious, you may always be in the pursuit of new knowledge. You may have a rich, deep inner life where, you are really plugged into your intuition and able to see things, predict things, know things, understand things, or you're perpetually trying to grow that ability that you have. And there's something about this person, you see how opposite they are, but like how this is the perfect companion for this. It actually makes me feel like me and my dog. So anyway, I don't know, take it as it resonates. All right. Okay. Let's see. Oh my gosh. I just heard, I want my MTV. Don't know why. Okay. Wow. Oh my God. So this person may actually have had, a lot of friends or a lot of people, like they may have been sort of superficial and had like a lot of casual friends or friends that they had good times with, or that they, were like, oh yeah, this is my friend, blah, blah, blah. But there is an energy here of like, they weren't really their friends. They were like good time people or people they could call when they wanted to go out or they needed, some kind of good time, but it wasn't like a really deep, rich relationship here. And it feels like they came to a place where they started seeing things on a deeper level, or on a, it's like maybe all of these people were exactly like them. And it's like they may have been craving some kind of diversity or something, some kind of, it's like, I want something different. I want this crazy shit for a second, this weird ass mystical shit or whatever. It's like, I want to, this isn't really helping me. This is like, perpetuating my own superficiality in a way, or my own experience of, it's almost like an echo chamber, right? There isn't a lot of growth and expansion in this energy. But in this energy, there is this opportunity to learn and to see something deeper and to see something bigger, and to dance in a different way, to different rhythms, and to experience something that we haven't already experienced. This feels like Groundhog's Day, where this feels like actually living life, and so there's this letting go. This is like the energy of the Eight of Cups, this energy of letting go. And it feels like this is the beginning of this isolation. I feel like with this person, there came this point where they were looking around at their life and they were saying, man, I'm not really experiencing anything here. I'm not really growing. I'm not really expanding. Like, all of these people are the same. All of this is just like, yeah. And this can even be in dating, like if you, one of my really good friends' daughter is, I think she's in her later 20s, and, she kind of devoted herself to like her career and is now like looking for a partner. And she has gotten so frustrated that she's literally like, I am not even looking anymore, because everyone is the same. Like, everyone I've gone on a date with, they're all like judgmental, and like it's harsh out there. And she's like, while I, personally may not be someone that they would judge, they might judge my friends, they might judge my family, they might judge this, they might judge that. Like, everything that they're saying, it's like, well, I know somebody that's like that, or my good friend has, a tattoo, or my good friend is like that, or whatever, and so it's like it's like it's closing her down instead of opening her up. And this energy right here is giving me like, oh, it's just all these people that think that life is this like superficial bubble that they can just like, oh yeah, wouldn't that be cute? We would look so cute together, and we can wear matching outfits on Halloween, and we can make boo boxes for Halloween, and we can, for Christmas, like I can get you this and then you can get me that. It's just, I don't know what this is, but that's what it's giving me. And it's like, this person has absolutely no desire. They would rather be by themselves than, in this energy anymore. They're looking for something richer, deeper, more fulfilling. Maybe they even want to travel, or maybe they even want to explore other cultures, or, you know what I'm saying? They want more depth. And so I feel like this person has to a certain amount disengaged with all of these things that are reflecting back to them, these parts of themselves that they actually really don't like. Because what we're clarifying here is the thing among reflections. And there's like almost like a dehumanization with this the thing among the reflections, when it's clearly a person. It's like it's made them feel kind of disassociated with themselves, and like kind of grossed out even by themselves and their own sort of way of being to a certain degree, which is really a tower moment. It's an ego death. It's the beginning, the opening of a transformation. For some people, it could be like a midlife crisis kind of energy. And then you have this Seven of Pentacles, and this is it. First of all, I want my MTV, And which is like the past, like that was always on in American households when I was like in high school. Everybody was watching MTV, The Real World, Road Rules, like what was it? I can't even remember. And music videos and stuff. And there's like a sense of nostalgia about that. But to me, instead, this is feeling like, but like, no matter what I think about The Real World as a television show now, or the Road Rules or The Challenge or any of those shows, no matter what my opinion is of them as a fully formed adult, a 50-year-old, I do have a sense of nostalgia and a sense of, God, it was so good back then when we were watching MTV on cable. There's a could I sit down and watch those shows now? I don't think so. Like, do I want to? No. But there is this sense within me. It reminds me of summers of not going to school, of spending all day at the pool and then coming home and eating snacks because you're starving, and watching MTV with your friends, like that's what it reminds me of. And there's something really awesome about that, just being young and being free and not going to school in the summer and, having that carefree time and energy and not really fully understanding or knowing like what the world is really like. And I don't think that teenagers really have that opportunity now because of the internet, but we sure did back then. I mean, cable TV was like pretty cutting edge when I was in high school. So there's this sense of nostalgia, this sense of, something that you sort of don't want to forget, and something that maybe for one person is the one true real time where they felt like they were experiencing something real, and they really want to hold on to it. They really find themselves, even after all this time has passed, being like, that's the one true sparkly shiny thing that really mattered to me in my life. Then you have this Lover's energy right here. Wow, with this trust energy underneath it. There's also guilt underneath that. For this person, there is this energy of focusing on this connection, this relationship, possibly even a choice surrounding this energy. I even feel a sense of reconnection. You see how there's these two people and then there's this reflection in the heart? This person may be heavily considering some kind of reconciliation or some kind of, reflecting back and sort of thinking like, wow, I'd like to go revisit that. I wonder if it's possible. Yeah, okay, talk about an ego death. Here we go. We've got the Seven of Swords. We've got the Hierophant and the Tower. And the Tower in this card is called the House of God. And it's being struck by lightning and falling. And underneath it, we have the Hierophant, and then we have the Death card here. So, of course, we have to clarify the Tower. We'll clarify them all with the Osho Zen Tarot, but I got to take one on the Tower before we dive into this. But this is definitely a spiritual awakening with the Hierophant and the Tower. Holy shit. Remember I showed you this? I literally got full energy. Wow, let me show you this. What's on the bottom of the deck is the freaking Empress. So you can see that this is someone who is now really kind of almost like willing to admit that, like, wow, of all the people I've met, of all the people I've experienced, there was one time in my life that was really, really different. And it was the time I spent with the Empress. And the Empress, when you're not with the Empress is the one that got away. When you're with the Empress is the one that you can see you're forever in. That's your lifer. There is no getting better than the Empress. The Empress is the top of the top. And so with this Fool card and with that trust and the Lover's energy and this Tower, it's like this person is having a major awakening that, until they are ready and willing and able to take a leap of faith, a complete leap of faith, letting go of the past and really coming forward in a new energy, right? With the Fool card, you will always be the one that got away instead of the one that they have, and that they can really see forever with tangibly. And with the Hierophant here, this is this person having this spiritual awakening, preparing themselves, allowing the tower to fall, allowing all of this like false superficial bullshit to fall apart, to allow themselves to, you know, have a chance with the Empress, to be able to take this leap of faith clean and clear and pure and ready and willing and able to go all in. Seven of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Wow, look at that. The Lovers. This person. There's, oh my God. This deck, all of the decks. You guys see, this is why I like to switch up the decks that I use. But like, wow. I would prefer for it to be for other reasons. The Tower and the Hierophant, please, Spirit. The Tower and the Hierophant. Wow, this person just can't take it anymore. They can't take it anymore. This person is exhausted from this experience of life. It's like they were born into a certain set of circumstances, or I don't know, something happened here that kind of made them robotic. You see how there's like all this robot, you know, it's reminding me of like a Marvel character like Iron Man, and I don't know any of the Marvel storylines, but it's reminding me of that, where it's like they're half machine, but there's still a person inside. And that person has feelings and emotions and desires, and yet they've sort of become so cold, they had to cut themselves off from all of this, just out of the exhaustion of trying to manage to be human in a harsh environment, in an environment where they were hurt, and they just had to keep cutting parts of themselves off in order to sort of be able to survive or function or be in that environment. And that's what they're letting fall apart. They're letting that robotic part break so that they can fully embrace this humanness and believe again in the abundance of the universe and the limitlessness of the universe. What is the Death? What is the Death for Pisces? What is the Death? Wow. Oh my God, you guys. Are you guys along for this ride with me? You guys better be putting some stuff in the comments. You visually, this reading is stunning. Visually, this reading is blowing my fucking mind. This person thought that this was off limits to them, and it was in their in the energy that they were embodying before. They didn't have the courage, they didn't have the bravery. They were so afraid of being hurt that they didn't let themselves believe it was possible. And so until you believe it's possible, until you yourself take that padlock off, you know, I bet in true tarot form there's a key somewhere in this picture. And all the person has to do is get the key and put it in there, and then they're no longer locked out. This person can go along for the adventure. This is the death. This is the transformation. It's the end of this non-believing energy where I've got to be this robot. I've got to, you know, it's these thoughts that are misaligned with their heart and their purpose and their mission and their plan and their divinity that have been keeping them moving in the wrong direction from everything that they want, from their own adventure, their own soul path, and their own abundance that is available to them in this life. They're opening, it's the end of that. It's the end of that for this person. This could be you, Pisces. All right. We have the Hermit and the Two of Cups. Okay, I thought there was a flipper. I do not see it, although it's very hard to see flippers in this deck. We have the Fool and the High Priestess. This Fool was in reverse and the High Priestess was upright. And we have the Wild Hunt. So this is interesting. Wow, this is interesting. Someone has gone through a major transformation and is gearing up to come out of a period of being single into this, I'm going after what I desire, I'm letting what I desire lead the way. You can see here it's like a wand on fire, and here with the Hermit it's this lantern, and the only color is this red string of fate, and you have this, even this like red string here with the Wild Hunt being the only thing that is going in the direction that this hunter is going in. So this is like meant to be. This is something that is fated. This is something that it's like part of the cosmic web, that cosmic plan, that web card that we had seen in the beginning. This person is finally having the courage, or everything is aligning for this person to finally be able to go after what they really desire. They've had time to really think about it and focus on it. And I think it's like they want you back. They feel like you're the one that can make them happy, that can guide them out of where they have been into where they want to be. And you have this Fool card is the Misero in this deck. And the Fool card, at one point it was the like homeless person that's sick, you know, mentally ill, physically ill, that is literally the Fool. And that was in reverse with the High Priestess over top of it, where it's like when we tap into our highest and best self, we understand that we are our own worst enemy, and we are the one that sort of is holding ourselves back from our own fate and our own potential unlimitlessness. You know, we're the one that is in our own way of tapping into all that is possible for us. And so it feels like this person is letting that go and tapping into, and you know, this is like a skull, right? And that's going back to that death card energy. It's like this person is having this higher realization, this intuitive understanding, this divinely guided from their higher and best self, even knowledge that like, wow, I need to let go of this belief that I can't have it, that I'm locked out, that I'll always be locked out, that I can't access it, that I can't go after what I want because it won't work out or it will only hurt me. And I have to just do it. I know this is what I want because I've spent the time to figure it out. And now I have to actually put my plan into action. And that's where we see this. And that's where we kind of leave this on the bottom of both decks. So I do think someone is stepping up and is getting ready to take action in the 3D here to come forward after quite a major transformation. All right, Pisces, let me get you some messages. Guys, if you're seeing something, if you're feeling something, put it in the comments. I love you guys' comments. I feel like I have the best viewers on YouTube. I really do. All right, if you're dealing with a water sign, you have angry, you have passion. Wow, that goes back to that red card, right? The changes are real. Holy crap, right? I miss you more than you know. And you hit me out of nowhere. Yeah, I don't think this person was prepared for it. I think they were sort of living kind of a superficial echo chamber type existence. Not really challenging, not really growing. If you're dealing with a fire sign, you have old flames. You were so unexpected, fantasizing. I am working on myself. I can't stop thinking of you. I've been having dreams about us, those visions of the future. We will be together again. And oh my gosh, you guys, one that went kind of far. Hang on a second. I had no idea you would end up meaning so much to me. Yeah. If you are dealing with an earth sign, distant, I want your attention, daydreaming. I don't want to let you down. You are the only one who truly gets me. Stuck. I want to be vulnerable with you. Our eye contact is insane. And if you're dealing with an air sign, the cards are really flying today. I am ready for more than just text. No one else matters now. Honest. It's hard for me to explain things. Resentment. Your words speak to me like no others can. Pisces, this is what I have for you. I hope it helps. I hope it brings you some peace and clarity. If it does, let me know. Sending you guys all my best. Until next time. Bye-bye.